What's up, guys? This is Jason, your host at xstation, episode 3. Let's get this done. What I'm talking about is there's a new drop in not drop, but a new update in Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7, yeah, update. There's new cars. I guess there's like a SEMA show car that they entered. It's like almost looks like an old school car. Basically, it looks like the old school. I don't know what car they built it off of, but it looks like the old school like Skyline or something. Supposedly like 1,000 horsepower stock, and you can add other stuff to it. And then they have the R32 GTR Nismo. Um, I will do some plays up with it, with the updates. I haven't got on GT 7 for a while. So I updated and well, it's updated already, but I will go on there and snag the cars that I think it's like 2 cars or 3 cars or something. So snag them up before they come out and available, and you have to wait for a long time like I did. I missed the Celica GT4 rally car, and I posted some shorts on that and tried to find that. So every now and then I was like going on there trying to find the car. But another thing is that they put the special parts and the engine swaps for sale, so you can go into the auto part of, not the one for not the GT thing, but you go to the GT Auto, and you can buy the right underneath the wide body option. You can get the engine swap option. I'm not sure how I feel about that because those things were. I mean, I know in the other games you could, it's part of like the tune up, the tune in of the car. But I think I like the exclusivity of getting the engine swaps and the thing. What they could have done is made it a lot easier when you go into the thing. They should have like I think they had like the engine swap ticket, but they should at least make those at least a little bit more obtainable in those. So you still have to go through and get it from the tickets, but make it a little bit more available instead of paying money to have it, because then everybody's gonna have it, and especially the special parts, uh, things. They should have just made those of more. The loot should have been a lot more obtainable as far as like just making the tickets drop more and drop more of the special, because the special things wasn't dropping. Engine parts wasn't dropping as much. They should have just made it that way instead of charge, because now everybody's gonna have the special parts. And you know I had it like me, for instance. I had when I got my Chiron. Well, I didn't get the Chiron. I got the what made me get the Chiron, the Bugatti Chiron, was I got the special turbo, the ultimate turbo kit for it, and then that made me get the Chiron. Made me spend the money to buy a Chiron. Now these things are the special ones. You can go get it at the tuning store, and now everybody has it. Now everybody's on the same playing field as I am, because now when before it was obtainable through credits. When I go on to the online, not saying that I have like a special advantage, but it made people want to play the game a little bit more, because now if you have all these things, you can just go buy Sharon, unlock the ultimate top horsepower for it, and nothing feels earned. I know people were saying that they had like people were saying that they don't drop as much. But they should have just updated with just making it drop more, so that way you still have to obtain the ticket, you still have to play the game, um, to get the special parts, uh, you know, and what they should have done is just made more modes or more games or more racing things to get more money. Like make a thing a racing thing where the people could go and obtain more money, so that way in turn they could play the game with progression and get the special things from playing the game. Because now you go online, and I'm sure everybody is going to have the special um, the special engine parts, and everybody's going to be on the same level. So it's like, you know, I know you could make your car faster with tuning and all that stuff, but it's just the parts, like instead of going through and just buy, and have a powerful car, why not make some events, make the tickets drop a lot faster in terms of the special tickets, the special engine part ticket and the engine tickets. Make those drop a lot more, and or have an event where you can get those tickets, like in the menus. You can, you get those tickets, the specific tickets, like the 4-star, the engine tickets. So you make like events that give you credits and also the tickets, so you have a chance of getting, different engine swaps, so that way, and different special things, so that way, at least, because I mean, I could understand, but I think this was like a lazy thing, a lazy effort on their part, because people were complaining about how slow and how how slow and how rare those tickets were dropping. And I find it's a lazy thing on their part. Just enable it for credits, and just go to the tuning store, go to the GT Auto store, and then just pay for your engine swap and pay for the special parts. But the engine swaps are a little, they are pricey. So like I've seen some of the swaps cost like 1.2 million, $1,200,000. It's high credit. So I mean, I don't know what some auto swaps are a little bit, different prices, but they should have just kept it the way it was, and just keep it, just make it more available, as far as like it drops more often when you do like a certain race or something. This is my take. Another thing is, I'm a big I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z fighters, and the only gripe I have with that game is they need, instead of buffing characters and nerfing characters, you guys just make like a combo breaker or something that breaks people's combos. Spend a meter to break a combo. Like if you have seven meters, spend 2 meters, or something, something a little pricey, so that way you could press a button, like how you could counter a dragon rush by pressing a button, and that will counter the dragon rush. The same thing with the combos, like, because sometimes the games could go one way. Like there's some games I play, like when I go up in the color, in the squares, they get really, really, it gets really unplayable with the people who are versed with the combo. Because I'm not like a professional like Dragon Ball Z or fighting game. I'm just like an average player. I can hold my own, but like when you go up to places, when you go up to the squares where people play this game, live, breathe, and play the game, it gets kind of unplayable, because like you make a button, you miss a button, and sometimes you end up not even playing because the other character could just swipe you off with one combo and take away a character. So like, if you guys listening to this, at least put in a little sequence of buttons you can press, or make it cost like 2 meters or something, so that way when people are doing the combos, at least you have a chance of like saving your character. I know you guys have the burst. They call it the burst. Yeah, I think is what they call it. Where you press the thing, and it acts like a combo breaker, but you have that, but at least you could have something else where you can save your spark. I'm sorry, not burst. Burst is some of the other game, but you can spark, and you can use it as like a get off me tool where you can just blast them back. But sometimes you can't even hit that because the combos are some people just know like a one hit combo that could take away a character and all that stuff. But I mean, if they have like a not a non-spark combo breaker where you can spend some of your meter to break somebody's combo mid combo, or whenever they have a space in between, that will be a lot. It will change the whole game dynamic, and it will kind of, you will have to think twice of going in on somebody, because on the back of your mind, at any moment notice you can do a breaker or something, and stop the combos and have a chance of doing something else, something like Killer Instinct. But I mean, that will be a big game changer. That will change the whole thing. Instead of buffing and nerfing and having people slow down their meter and stuff, like I know the 3 characters, they got their meter way how they gain the meter like nerfed like 50%. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I mean, that's in my history of fighting games, I've never heard any nerf in terms of nerfing the percentage of the gaining of the meter, of the super meter on any character. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, if I'm wrong, just comment in the bottom what game did that. I mean, like, Marvel vs. Capcom never did that. Marvel vs. Street Fighter never did that. I don't think Killer Instinct did that if they had a meter, thing. I mean, not that I know of. I mean, Capcom Street Fighter. I mean, I don't know if they ever did any nerfs or buffs. I mean, I'm sure they probably did, but not like on the thing of like call what do you call it, Dragon Ball Z Fighters. But we need something like that. At least to give the players something to think about and something to watch out for, because sometimes those games go one-sided, and then if you meet somebody who doesn't know how to play the game, it's way like frustrating with that game. Because if you know how to play the game and somebody doesn't know how to play the game, it's a one-way game. Trust me. I mean, some people, they don't even want to play the game because it's like too sweaty. But I mean, I can hold my own. So I mean, I usually post up some videos on here. I get my butt handed to me sometimes. And I dish out some pain too. So I mean, yeah, if they do that, it will be good. Another thing is, I mean, for real, they need to do that. They need to do that a lot. I mean, they need to, instead of buffing all these things and buffing all these characters and nerfing their meter gain, put that mechanic in. It will change the whole dynamic of the game. That would be good. I mean, they should do something like that. Another thing is, you know, it's yeah. Another thing is yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's really really crazy how that game is. I mean, I like it. I play it. Dragon Ball Z. That's one. It's crazy how that is. But the other thing is what Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Let's that game. I played the other ones. It's pretty good. What characters are you guys hoping for, and what modes? I mean, obviously the tournament mode will be back, but I mean it will be back, but it should be back. You know, I'm talking like it would, like if I know anything, like if I'm part of the development team, but it should be back. I mean, that's what that tournament, that's what that um thing was about. I remember playing that mode and stuff like that. But what characters are you guys thinking about that you would like to see? Would you like to see like super characters, um, or transformations you would like to see? Um, you know, like just comment down. I have a post in the community thing. If you guys want to take part in that, be glad to, go ahead and just, like to hear your guys' thoughts and comments on it. We have uh, the Kakarot update. I think they doing the either the GT storyline or the Super storyline. I think. I mean, I don't know. I can't think. Well, not. I think they did the Super already because they had like the the previous one with the blue. They did the blue. When they get the God power, and I think you had to fight Golden Freezer. I think they had Golden Freezer in it, if I'm not mistaken. And they kind of did that, but like, what else they could put from supers, so I think they will probably go with GT. They could put GT because I mean they could put the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and they could also get another like fusion, which is Gogeta, um, you know Super Saiyan 4 transformation. I mean, they already did the Gogeta, the Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue transformation, but because they already had Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Goku in there. So I mean, they could do the storyline from the Broly, which is still in Super, but I think I mean, they could go either way because both of them have fusions, and I mean, a lot of people are like in the Super. I mean, there's a lot of fans of the GT arc too, but I mean, they can go either way. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I like to hear your thoughts. Um, all right, going back from the game things. What you guys think about what do you guys think about the DC and the you know DC fans versus the WB, and with this thing with the Snyder and James Gunn reboot, soft reboot probably. Um, what you guys think about if Netflix take over the Snyderverse? Because we really need to get Man of Steel 2 and the Justice League 2 and 3. Well, that's what we need. We need those. We need to get that timeline, completed. Anything could happen after that. Bring back Henry Cavill as Superman. Do Justice League 2 and 3, and then give us the Man of Steel 2, because we need that. We need to see Henry Cavill in his own standalone second movie. Come on, we need to see that. Um, you know, we need to get those things. After that, they could do whatever they want with the DC universe. But my advice to them is to keep it serious. Like, don't have too much comedic rules. Uh, we don't want like the whole DC universe, cinematic universe to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy did their thing because that's, Guardians of the Galaxy, the comic books, they were usually a team where kind of messes up all the time. And the way how they mess up is like they mess up in a good way. It's like they don't mess up in a bad way where if they're trying to save or do something and it messes up, and it does, like, is they gonna save or building or save somebody, when they mess up, it doesn't, the reaction or the outcome is not bad. When they mess up, the reaction is like a kind of like a luck type of thing. They have a lot of luck and stuff. So when they do something, they're more on the silly side. Kind of like Deadpool is like, oh, something's supposed to happen. He do something, it messes up something, but everything just falls in place without him knowing or doing something. It always like, oh, something gonna happen bad, but it so happens to fall right in the right place, and everything is good after that. So that's the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, is like something like that. And that's what was good with Guardians of the Galaxy. That played out well. It can't play over well with DC because most of the characters in DC cinematic universe, the way Howard Snyder put it, it was more like a serious take on the characters. Yes, they did have some comic reliefs here and there, like with Flash, banter, and Aquaman's banter and stuff like that. They had not a lot, but some. I mean, a well balanced, but most of it was more serious than thing. And the same thing with Marvel too. They had a nice even, mesh of comic relief and seriousness. Like, it's like you watching Avengers, and you know what you would expect from Chris Hemsworth character, which is Thor. You know what to expect with certain, like, with Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. character. You expect, like, that dry humor, chip on the shoulder, billionaire, money could solve anything. You could throw enough money at it and it will, solve it. Captain America, serious, to the code character, so nothing slips by him. Every I's dot, T's cross. Thor, already touched that. He's more like a strength, fixes everything. He can move. If he can move a building just to solve that, that's his character. Hulk is more like, well, they kind of toned down Hulk, and in the first Avengers, I like that version of Hulk where it's like, he's kind of in control but not in control. I mean, I understand the Professor Hulk thing, but then the Professor Hulk thing is alright, but I didn't like it as much. The best version of Hulk I liked was in Thor Ragnarok. yeah, that still has this crazy side at any moment's notice he could lose it, but they did my boy not even a solid where he kind of lost to Thanos. I understand that Thanos was supposed to win and stuff like that, and two Titans going at it, kind of will like prolong that movie because I mean, for movie magic, I understand from a movie perspective, I understand what they did there, but they could at least make it like a stalemate, not like Thanos like put him out. So yeah, it's a little gripe. DC, on the other hand, I mean, it needs to be serious, and if they could follow that formula a little bit, but not too much comedy. Yeah. So this, let me know what you guys think about that. Like, if Netflix should at least do something with Snyder on terms of the Justice League 2 and 3 and Superman, Man of Steel 2, and I think that they should get Henry Cavill to do that. The new Superman Legacy. I don't know. How much times they could retell a origin of the origin story of a superhero. I mean, everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about it. I'm sure they know, everybody who follows DC and Marvel, they know of all all the origins of how the characters come back. But I guess this idea is Superman in his early I mean, it kind of like Batman that it did, where it's like year 2 of his infancy of being Batman. So this one is like going back to his days in the Daily Planet, and he's an experience and starting from there. And it's kind of old, man. I mean, like, everybody knows he was in the Daily Planet, keeping his ear close to the the troubles and this and that. They kind of portray that in the Man of Steel, but it didn't stretch out on that because the director know that everybody knows what happened. Focus on Superman powers and his enemies, the villains, and get those movies out because that's what people want to see. People want to see, like what they did with Black Adam. People want to see he go toe to toe with Black Adam. People want to see go toe to toe with, I mean, they did it with Doomsday. They want to see him go up against, powerful characters. That's the reason why Justice League, the Snyder version did good because, like, I mean, they put him toe to toe against Steppenwolf, and that was a great scene. A lot of things. Like to focus on his early, like an inexperienced Superman. I mean, I don't know. It could be two ways. I could be saying something and it totally surprised me, but everybody wants to see Superman, destroy some villains, go up against, some epic fight scenes like they had in Snyder Cut. Same thing what Marvel did with the Hulk. They had him in some epic fight scenes, except for Thor. I mean, except for the fight scene with Thanos. So like, you have a powerhouse. Use it. I don't know. I'm just rambling here. So and another thing too. If being more comedic in superhero films, why did Shazam 2 didn't make it as well in the box office? Bringing back Deadpool. Deadpool is, he is like that, break the fourth wall, all that stuff. So like that would work with him. People expect, a character like that to be clumsy and stupid and foolish and all that stuff. Shazam wasn't really like, I mean, yeah, he's a child at heart, but I mean, like, the way how they portrayed it was like, the first one was good. Second one was like, they were trying too hard to like tell jokes and be funny and all that stuff, and it's like, okay, man, we already know that you're a child, and you have a child mentality and stuff, but is like a borderline being like annoying. Like you want to say like, yo man, just quit it, man, fight. Stop thing. So the formula for Shazam 2, if James Gunn come into that, it's not going to work well. It's not going to work well. And the formula for telling Superman's early, trials, is not going to work well. I think so, because everybody knows that. Everybody knows, he was in Daily Planet. Everybody knows that, like there's no, if they had go on with like telling the infancy of all like superheroes, trials and errors, it would just get boring, because everybody read it in the comic books already. People, yeah, you want to follow the storyline a little bit, but there's a reason why the DC comic book universe, like, that's a different than the DC cinematic universe. That's just, they have the source material, and they taking the source material and making it into like a film version. Because yes, you understand that people, there's not a lot of people that know comic books. There's a few of them, but majority of those people that's going to watch these movies, 10 to 1, they know all that. They know all the superheroes. Like it's, and I know you have to make the stories for like everybody to go watch. But if you want to find out Superman's trials and errors, go watch Christopher Reeve's version. That's like a best. If you want to kind of take out the the infancy of like beginning of Superman, go watch that. Superman 1 to like how much they have. We need to get past that now. We need to pass everybody. They retell the Batman story all the time. We need to move from that era to experience superheroes. We want to experience superheroes. Same thing they did with Iron Man. Iron Man 1, they went touch a little bit on how we became Iron Man. Yes, the first part of the movie went to a place, I don't know if it was Iraq or whatever, got hit with the bomb, got trapped there, come out the cave, build a suit, and that was it. That was the first movie. Build the Mark 1 suit, figure out the height limitation or whatever, get rid of his first villain, Ironmonger. And then Iron Man 2 was a totally different thing. They didn't go back and say, oh, let's do this and get into Iron Man's first infancy. We already had all that stuff played out already in the first one, second one, third one, and Avengers. So, by the time Avengers roll around, we already have like an experienced, Tony Stark version. This thing with DC, man. Like the main characters of the Justice League, Batman and Superman, they're playing around with like they're rebooting and soft rebooting. Don't even know who's gonna be in the new Justice League or what they're gonna do with Justice League. What directions they're going as far as like what's leading up to. In DC side, what's leading up to the big picture. All their movies don't mash. It's like what's leading, like who's the big boss they have to fight at the end. You have all these other movies, Flashpoint, Blue Beetle, you have Aquaman, you have Shazam, you have Black Adam. Well, Black Adam is like an anti-hero, but you have all these things. You have the Justice Society with I can't even remember that one. Yeah, you got the Justice Society. What, Black Adam, Justice Society? Yeah, you got that. And there's no, you can't connect like You can't connect. So like you have to wonder. Yes, going to the movies, watching, sit down, going to the movies and stuff like that. It's it's good, but like you have like from a logical a logical perspective into this. There's no end game. There's no end game. Everything just go this way, that way, this way, and there's no end game. There's nothing that will tie, the Shazam to Blue Beetle. There's nothing that will tie in Blue Beetle to the Justice League. There's nothing that will tie in. The only thing that ties in Flash to this one is the Justice League is Ben Affleck's Batman, and it's being, I think, after the Justice League. There's nothing tying in Blue Beetle to the Justice League. The only thing that ties in Shazam, it was that he get recruited into the Justice Society, but he was a part of the Justice League. So he got, tied into that. And I had to do it in some Waller, I don't know if it's a series or a movie, but, at the end of all that, what they gonna do? Like, they already can, not can, but they already pulled Henry Cavill's character from Superman. I don't think Ben Affleck is gonna play the Batman. I mean, they have, this Batman going on here with Peterson or Rob Peterson or whatever his name is. But there's nothing tying it. What's the end game? Everybody's confused. Like, what version of like the Justice League? What version of the Justice League is gonna be at the end of all this? Like, was the last version of the Snyderverse DCU? Is gonna be? I think it's gonna be the Flash, because after the Flash, what else? What else? It is confusing, and I think it's only going to get more confusing. Let's see what James Gunn will do, but I think doing what he's doing now is just going to put more layers on top of what's already there. What they should have done is just continue with the Justice League, Justice League 2 and 3, and Man of Steel thing. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have taken him off the list. What they should have done is, if I was James Gunn, what I would have done is I would have gone. Well, they're already allowing to have the Flashpoint go through. So what they should have done is, since Barry went back and messed up the whole timeline, if he wants to do this, you go, you kind of mess up the timeline where it just crashed, and like, even though Barry went back and tried to fix it, it's still messed up, and that's how you have this Superman legacy and all that stuff, because it's still trying to repair. And then at the end of all this, behind the scenes, Barry is still trying to fix what's going on, and then leading up to the real Justice League, he fixed it, and it gets swapped back into this version of the Snyderverse, like Henry Cavill, all original characters of the Justice League. That should be weird. That would be a big twist, and also make the fans happy. All right, so enough rambling here. So man. So just go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell and like and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos like this. This is the 3rd episode. So, don't worry. I know I keep on saying this, but I will have, my other co-host in there, so that way we can get a good dialogue going on. If you guys, we could have a dialogue going on. I always, always try to respond to like, the comments and everything. Put the comments on there, go to the community section, and I have a few polls up there, so just go ahead and take part and let's build this community up, man. So you know, so we can have a good time. All right, guys. Well, just have a good time and peace just just chill. All right. Thank you guys for listening.